All right, welcome to another episode. On this one, we have Francesca Scerbo. She is a personal fitness and lifestyle coach. She is the owner and operator of Fitness 1-to-1 in Roseland, New Jersey. And she is kind enough to share her 20-year experience in health and wellness through also her own personal story of personal transformation, her ability to persevere and work through an eating disorder, that she is able to use that experience to share and empower her passion in the fitness and wellness space. And we cover everything from the mind-body connection, the ability to adapt to various stresses in life, especially in these times, and finding your tribe, finding the community that is going to build you up and encourage you along the way in spite of the circumstance. She really speaks to acknowledging where you are and wherever your fitness walk is, or lifestyle or wellness walk, but just acknowledge where you are today and look forward. And how you got there to this point is almost irrelevant, but the ability to work with a coach and a community to continue to get to that ideal self is really, you can sense it in her passion and her pursuit for it. And so I hope you will find some, and I believe you will find some encouraging words from Francesca. Check out also, she has an online community called the Transformation Tribe. The link is in the notes. So if you get something, not if, but when, or you know somebody who can get some value out of what Francesca and I speak to today, please share it. Share it on the platforms, if you wouldn't mind giving a 5-star review, because we think we're sharing some information that people need to hear and can encourage somebody. So thank you for listening and enjoy the episode. All right, before we jump into the episode, just wanted to share some information about Anchor. It's a great free platform for starting out a podcast. It's what I've been using, and it was a great turnkey solution for me to be able to focus on the primary mission of my podcast and not worry as much about how to get the word out, where to post, things of that nature. Anchor takes care of that for you. They distribute, they set up a platform that is easy to use with lots of tutorials. They give recommendations and coaching on how to even interview on your podcast to get you started. So I would encourage you to look into it. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Now, on to the episode. My guest on today's episode is Francesca Scerbo, owner and operator of Fitness 1-to-1, located in Roseland, New Jersey, which happens to be my motherland. I grew up in New Jersey, spent the first 24 years of my life there. So it's great to have a fellow New Jerseyite on the podcast. So welcome, Francesca.
Thank you so much. We're actually located in a town called Roseland, New Jersey.
Roseland.
Yeah, it's a small town that kind of hovers. We're right off of 280 that hovers like Livingston. So for anyone from New Jersey, they pretty much know where we were.
Great. Thanks for the clarification.
No, thank you for having me today.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. So in these interesting times, it's definitely a new dawn, which if you look at it from a positive perspective is, I think, a refocus on wellness. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of where you come into play, the services you all offer, which is more than just the gym. But wanted to get, before we dig into your company and the services and how folks can leverage that, but give a little bit of background about yourself and how you got into it.
Sure, absolutely. I've been in the health and wellness business for a little over 20 years. I recently took over Fitness 1-to-1 a little over a year ago, but I was part of the Fitness 1-to-1 family for that 20-year period. What got me into fitness was really a story of how I pretty much wasn't a very healthy individual, wasn't really taking good care of myself as far as like my nutrition. I didn't have a really good mindset of like what was healthy and what wasn't. And I had suffered from a lot of different, eating issues and issues with, just with my mental situation. So I really kind of did full circle in trying to transform myself. Long story short, I had an eating disorder, and fitness and nutrition is what saved my life. And that's kind of how I got into this whole career, because I realized the importance of health and wellness and fitness. And it allowed me to transform my health, transform the way I live, transform how I work. And it's now brought me full circle into how I want to motivate, inspire, and educate others on the importance of health and well-being.
Yeah, that's a great story. It's something that I've heard before, is your test is your testimony.
Yeah.
And it's empowering to know that you're able to take, something that was a challenge for you and then turn it into a passion to really enable and empower others.
Mm-hmm. And what I enjoy doing now is, there's evolutions to fitness and wellness. And really what I've been doing a lot more now is not just personal training. I've really been doing a lot of health and life coaching. And with that being said, with the clients that I am working with, we don't just work on how we're going to move the body. We work on how we're going to improve our lifestyle and our life for better health, better energy, better sleep, for all things wellness. And that's something that kind of separates the style of coaching that I do versus just the personal training. Although I feel the movement is really, really important during this time. And what I've just seen over the course of the last few years, and what I saw in my own journey, is I needed to take care of like my mind, my body, before I can even attempt exercise, because I noticed that the exercise part of that was a little bit of a stress for me. But when I hired my own coaches and my own people that I felt could help me, I had hired somebody to help me exercise smart for my health and my body. I had hired somebody to help me with my food and my mental thoughts. And when that all came together, I saw that I was improving and things were healthier for me. And that's what I do for other people. And that's what our studio does for other people. And we truly like change the way that people think about their health, because there's so many different pillars of health. And especially right now, I feel like we're on the front line of all of what's going on, because, if we don't have our health, fighting what's going on with COVID-19 and any other things in your life is going to be that much more of a struggle. So we want to take away the stress and the anxiety of getting you to that point and kind of take you through like guided steps to get there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's like a compounding interest effect, whether it's positive or negative. There's no in between.
Right.
And then you touch on a couple things that seems pretty important. And I know it was a shift for me as well, is mindset and how you perceive, whether it's food. You mentioned your own struggles around nutrition. We all have an idea of what that looks like, but your perspective on food or your perspective on fitness, especially in fitness where you need to have a level of fortitude, right, to push through the exercise, that, coming and creating relationship with an organization like yourself seems pretty foundational.
Yeah, definitely. Nutrition is so important. I think that what's happened now is there's so much information out there, and a lot of it is misguided. I hear it from my clients all the time. I'll get a text message going, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? Like, intermittent fasting, cleansing, protein, vegan. And I hear it all the time. And I say that with my clients, you've got to find a program that works best for you. It's a one size fits you approach to fitness. Nutrition hasn't changed as far as like, eating protein, eating carbohydrates, eating healthy fats. It's the types of foods that we're eating and giving our body that is allowing us to perform in life, to keep us healthy, to keep our weight down, to keep disease away. That's like a huge thing that like we need to really deal with. It's eating to live, not living to eat. And I think right now during this time where everybody's like kind of stuck inside, the mental stuff kind of kicks in, and we're eating out of stress, worry, anything. There's a ton of stuff. We're eating out of the fact that your dog's barking too much and you're not used to that. So, I mean, there's so many stresses that are causing the food thing to kind of go erratic right now. And I think that that's where the mindset comes in too. The two are so intertwined, because what you think about, you bring about. What you think, you believe. And what I've started to practice within myself and within the clients that I'm working with, because I do a lot of work through, I've been doing a lot of social media stuff right now just because I can't see my clients, is the mindset. Doing some meditation, some breath work, even doing a yoga flow on the carpet, just to like get your body out of its like crazy space. But mindset's really important, because I mean, if we start thinking about the facts that we're not at work, there isn't revenue for some people that are coming in. Look, myself included, my business is shut. So, I'm not, collecting things. It's a stressor. And what that does is that just feeds at your insides, and that actually brings an unhealthy body. So if we're not controlling what's going on in our head, our bodies are probably experiencing, or they should be, I know that used to happen to me a lot, is anxiety, panic. We get lots of waves of emotion. We're going through a ton of waves of emotion right now because we just got quarantined for another 30 days. So a lot of people can't get out of their houses. And I think not that I think I know, because clients have been calling me with funny jokes going like, if I continue to stay married, we're in good shape. And, but it's just, talk. So as a health coach during this time, our means is to be there for our clients. And it's to be there I had a great conversation with a client the other day who is just like, I need to just like vent and let it out. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I feel like I'm out of control. So, as a coach, coaches need coaches. I mean, I have a coach myself. Like, we need coaches. You need us. That's why we're here. So like I said, when we're on the front lines for you guys, this is the most important time to utilize your health and life coach, and your fitness professional to the levels that you need them, because we're the only ones that have gone through the knowledge and the understanding to really help you be your best self for the future, not just for now, because, look, COVID-19 is going to stop, but we need to now navigate the path of how do we prevent ourselves from getting unhealthy and from this to happen again. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the reason, but, we need to get control of our health now, so that we, if we have to be in a situation where we're not moving, we're not experiencing. I have clients that are calling me having like muscle issues because they're not moving, because again, they're used to going through a guided program. So, I've been reaching out to people, like helping them just move a little bit more. And this is stuff that's really, really important in, helping clients moving forward.
Yeah. And, you touch on a couple things as your rhythm gets disrupted. And when you start developing good habits and then you get sidetracked, it's hard to recreate those in a different environment, which is what we all have. Now we're doing home workouts. We're used to maybe going to a gym where there's equipment and facilities. And now it's like, okay, I got to pick up my desk to deadlift.
It's so easy to just put fitness on the back burner because people are just like, I just don't know what else to do. And that's okay. But the body's, if you're used to doing it every day, continue to do something every day, because your body's, the body's a beautiful thing. And, it falls out of line, after like 2 or 3 weeks, because the patterns aren't the same. Our bodies are used to certain structures, and, you don't have to go crazy. Like, look, it's tough that we're not, clients aren't able to work out with weights that they used to work out with, or to be able to use a treadmill or an arc trainer, especially if you have any type of limitations. My heart like goes out to all of my clients. Reach out to me. I can come up with something that you could come up with that we could help you do. But that just goes to show that if you aren't working on that most of the time, when stuff like this happens, it's that much harder to get yourself back into it.
Yeah. And it seems like, we mentioned it already, is relationship and community, right? Yeah. To make sure, we're forced in isolation. So you have to have some intentionality on engaging. And coming from a fitness perspective, it seems like you mentioned mindset. Some people are going to walk in and have some preconceived notions on what to do or how to get out of that. And, it sounds like one key thing is raise your hand, right? Don't recoil and not engage, ask the questions, make sure that you're engaging with people.
We're here for you, even though we're not physically in front of your face, which we're used to doing. And I've said this so many times in some of my social media posts. I'm here for all of my clients. And even people that are my clients, if you want to reach out to me, like, I understand the mindset that goes through stuff like this, because, we all have had life experiences, and it's how we deal with those things that either make us stronger or weaker. And I think that's what the coaching is all about. I believe that people feel like coaching is so overly like kooky in a way where it's like, oh, you're going to tell me to, that I can't do certain things. That's not what we're doing. Coaches help you with what you're currently doing and making it a little bit better than you were doing before. That's what health and life coaching does. We're not talking about anything in your past. We're talking about what's going on with you presently in right now. And how do we want to make our future better? It's present to future. That's what health and life coaching does. And some of the stuff in our past is definitely going to be a reason for why stuff is happening in the present, but we don't need to go back there. We need to just focus on, okay, well, those things happened, and let's take those things and make them better for you to be a better person. And as far as community goes, the health and life coaches are putting out a ton of content saying to everybody out there, hey, reach out to us. It's one of the reasons I put together my group on Facebook, is because I wanted to come up with, a community where I can share with people, hey, here's maybe a little healthy recipe you want to try. Hey, I'm giving you a big hug, because everybody needs a hug right now because we're social distancing. Like, we don't even know what it's like to touch and hug and feel that love anymore, because we're so freaked out. And other things I've been sending is, hey, here's what I do. It may not, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but it's like, again, if you were going to follow the gurus of what we do, and they were to say to you, hey, like, if I can give you the secret sauce of how to maintain your life, and this is all you have to do, would you do it? Absolutely. You would be following some type of a protocol that works best for you. So that's what we do. The health and life coaching is basically following things that work best for you, but helping you go through it by saying, hey, we do the same things. We're living the life that we preach.
Yeah. And so what is, people are listening, what's a practical, maybe quick win or practical step that you can encourage somebody through right now if they're reluctant or just out of rhythm? What would be a step one?
As far as a mindset goes, or as far as what has
trying to get back to something resembling pre-COVID, right? You're at home, you've been doing some semblance of fitness, things are a little off. What's a step one or two to get there?
So the first thing I always would recommend is you've got to go within yourself first, is taking a deep breath and just like kind of giving yourself a little bit of like some positive self-talk. It's really hard. It's challenging right now to think of something positive, which is why I like to do a little bit of a guided meditation, or I'll just make sure that I am surrounding myself with positivity. Step number one, I would say, is stop watching TV all the time. Play music that like allows you to kind of get outside of your norm, back to what you used to do. We all listen to music and stuff like that, but that brings you back to what you used to do. I think another thing is take baby steps. We're not saying that you've got to go back to your hardworking, exercises, but just try to move your body a little bit every day. Try to maybe incorporate like a little bit more healthy meals during the day. Talk to if you're surrounded by family, maybe just like check in on one another. Hey, how are we all doing today? Are we good? Let's like recenter, because I think that it's easy to get off track. And I think that, joining a community, I think, is super beneficial. especially when you have people. It's so much easier to kind of open up in a group than it is to necessarily try to open up within oneself. So if you're part of a group and you kind of hear that everybody's going through the same thing, you're less likely to take that big breath and just be like, oh, all right, so I'm not the only one. Even though you know you're not the only one, to kind of hear everybody kind of saying like, I've been eating extra Oreos and I just decided I was going to sit on the couch today and I just can't get myself motivated. Let's all kind of, if you come up with ways together to do that, like to come out of that, mindset, it's so much more helpful. I've been trying to say to clients, like, get out at least 2 to 3 times a week and go for a walk. Don't intentionally try to run outside because, it hurts to run outside. So just walk. Like, our body's natural motion is to just walk. And if you can't walk, you got to be like a little bit creative. Do some marching in place, whatever you have to do to just move around. Go back to like when you're a little kid, you just played. We just moved our bodies and that was what it was. And I think that's where you need to like start with, and then get into like a food thing. Like, today I'm going to maybe not eat Oreos today, or I'm going to make sure I eat breakfast. And I'm going to make sure that I drink a lot of water today, just because I know it's just going to make me feel good. Forget about like, because this time too is a lot of self, we're beating ourselves up for what we're doing, because clients are going like, all the work I did, I feel like it's just going to be like shot. And I keep saying to everybody, please don't say that. It's not shot. It's just temporarily on hold. And there's ways for us to get you back. So start with, just for today, you're just going to drink more water, and then do that for like 2 days, and then pick something else after that. Because if we start all compounding all of these different things into one day, it's a disaster. Yeah. It's like, you try to lose weight. You're trying to like, I'm going to lose weight, exercise 5 days a week. And I'm going to do, and what happens is you do it for 2 days and we're done, which is why most New Year's resolutions fail, because it's exactly a grandiose plan that never happens. And that's something that we teach here at the studio. And it's something that I teach as a health and life coach. And it's something that I think is really important to just keep remembering.
Yeah, you make a great point of just acknowledge where you are and make that one step each day, and don't evaluate yourself. Just acknowledge the win, regardless of size.
Yeah. It's really easy during this time to look, eventually we're all coming out of this. It's just going to take some time. And I think that, there's everything happens or for a reason. And I think this has allowed us to maybe do a lot more work on ourselves, because for the first time in a long time, we're not, oh, I got to go to soccer, I've got to drop this and that off, I've got to like pick up my food, I've got to like, this is the best time right now, although it's not on a global scheme a great time, or an economic scheme maybe, but this is the time where we can really focus on oneself, and the things that we really wanted to take care of and dial into, we can. If you want to cook a meal, there's means to like teach you to do that. If you wanted to, there's so many things that we can work on oneself, that now all we have is time. It's like, I'm going to say, I'll use an example for myself. Like I was saying with meditation, I promised myself that I was going to meditate once a day for 30 days. And I started it 4 days ago. And I was just like, it's going to be what it's going to be. If I find that like, I'm going to just try it. And it's now something after like day 4, I'm like, oh, I kind of dig this. This is a great thing. I want to keep this going once I have to go back to work. I'm even trying to get more, I wasn't getting quality sleep before because my schedule was erratic. Now I'm trying to make sure I have a little bit more quality sleep, which leads to a healthy body, a healthy mindset. So those little things are the positives for one's health during this time.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, anecdotally for us, we have 3 girls. And so we've been able to do a few more things together. You're kind of connecting more. You're not hustling the soccer or dance or drama or whatever the fill in the blank, right?
Right.
That you're running off to, that, you can engage at a slower pace. You can slow things down and just engage with your family, with community to some extent, so, this interesting environment aside, under normal circumstances, when someone comes into your facility, what's kind of the step one for them to engage with you on the self-assessment? What process do you take them through?
Yeah, sure. So Fitness 1-to-1 is really it's a very wellness centric type of facility. We focus on, the personal ends of personal training. We also do a lot of body work. So we do some stretch therapy, we do life, and we do food coaching, we do athletic training, whatever it is that you need, we have. So what happens with us is, you come in for your initial wellness consultation, and we kind of like want to make it very relaxed, because for some people, environments like this can be very intimidating, because some people feel like they need to act, look, or be a certain way before they start an exercise program, which I think is absolutely crazy, because the whole reason that you're coming is because you want our help. When people, say that to me, I kind of like chuckle. They're like, well, I need to lose 20 pounds before I see you. I'm like, what? I'm like, just come and see me. I'm like, once we put the whole body together, there's no doubt you're going to lose weight. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel good. So what we do is we have them come in and we sit down and we just talk. We just want to know everything we need to know about them, their goals, their limitations, their previous exercise experiences. What are some of the things that they're looking to accomplish? What are some things that they didn't like in your program? Because if you don't like what you're doing as far as your fitness goes, you're not going to get up and do it every day. There's going to be a million excuses as to why you can't do it. So we want to make it fun, stress-free, and we want you leaving feeling better than you did walking in. That's our whole motto. And the programs that we design are safe and effective. They're all based around that individual. So we could have clients that have tons of different type of structural and orthopedical issues. We have clients that are in amazing shape. We have a lot of athletes. We have, some senior citizens that are so devastated that they're not moving right now. We run the gamut of all types of clients, and they're people that just want to improve their health. They want to get a full, well-rounded program on, what I should do for my body as far as movement, what I should do with my nutrition. Body work is super important, because now especially we're sitting every single day. So we do a lot of floor exercises that open up the body. We have someone that does a little stretching for so they come in and they get a little stretching session. But the key is everybody just needs to move more, but they need to move safe. There's so many different types of programs out there that can be, super chic, and they can claim that they'll get you into like stellar shape. But a lot of times, if that includes, some type of a jumping exercise, and I have a meniscus issue, I'm not going to want to do that. So we take all of those components of your individual body, and we make the best, most effective, result-driven program for you.
That's great. And it sounds like you were saying too, it doesn't matter where you are coming from, your experience, the demographic, whether age, what have you, it's ultimately going to be customized to fit you where you are today, and then where you want to go, where you see yourself as whatever that fit individual is down the road.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's slow and steady wins the race. Everybody's program is, it may take 10 weeks for us to build a foundation for you if you haven't done something. It could take, some clients feel like in 3 weeks, they feel the most amount of energy they ever felt. Some people feel great after the initial orientation, because after we sit down and speak to you, we literally want to see how your body moves. So we put you through a small little workout, and 9 times out of 10, the clients sign up and come in for their first initial session. And they'll say to us, like, I was sore after that. I really enjoyed it. Like, I felt rejuvenated. I felt like my body did exercises it's never done. Our studio also doesn't have a lot of your super fancy, exercise machines, because you don't need a fitness professional to watch you on a machine. We want to take you and we want to have your body move the way it was designed to move in life.
Bending. So functional movements.
Totally functional, right? Because that's how we move. I mean, you see that people We have a lot of people with some chronic back issues, and we've been so it's been so great to have the clients coming in going like, my back pain's gone. Yeah, because we're helping your body move outside of that sitting area, and we're rotating, we're doing lengthening, we're doing, different types of conditioning exercises to keep you strong and to keep you out of pain.
Yeah. And taking it back to functional and at home, how many times people hurt themselves, not in the gym, but at home doing something.
Right.
And a lot of it is they weren't moving in the proper way.
Yeah.
And it seems simplistic, but foundational things like that are important on how you pick up a box, if it's all the way on the
Absolutely.
ground.
Yep. I mean, my guys are they're there with you the whole time. If form is a little erratic, which look, and that's the thing that I think people are, especially that have done our type of training and is now not, is the fear of hurting oneself. And I understand that completely. A lot of these at-home exercises are designed to be fun, energetic, and I keep using the word, chic. But the exercises that I've kind of put together during this time while the clients are away is based on what I know our clients are capable of doing, which is why I've put it out specifically for them with modifications and things like that, because the average person, it can't do a lot of those jumping type motions. So, they're afraid of getting hurt. I don't blame them. Like my main concern during this time with my clients is I want to keep them safe. And that's what we do here in the studio at all times. Your safety is our primary concern. And if we see you, even if you're here on your own working out and it's a form that we feel is going to be, detrimental to you in a little bit, we'll say, hey, wait, we got to fix that. Don't do it that way. So, that's the kind of stuff that's the personalized part of personal training. And it's tough. Like, I've been doing some virtual training with my clients, and I'm like sitting there looking at the screen and I'm like, nope, you're not, and they're like, thank God, if I was doing this, I'd be doing it wrong,
Right.
So and that's just with one-on-one. And if I take a group, I take, a smaller group and I do it like that. But if I'm doing a larger group, virtual, I keep it simple. We say like, keep it simple, stupid. Most people, the simpler, the better. I'd rather see someone do a multiple repetition of something that they're doing correctly than something incorrectly. And then I get I hear later on like, oh, I think I tweaked my knee, or I did something like that. I've been hearing a little bit of that just from other people saying, oh, I took a class online. I said, well, did you watch your foot position? They're like, no. I'm like, just be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you touch on a couple different things, but, it circles back, made me think of, mindset matters, our limiting beliefs of things, whether it's nutrition or fitness or ourselves and what we're capable of. And then also just around, community again,
Yeah.
having somebody there to just talk to and not just inside our own heads, whether it's one-on-one or you mentioned, and maybe you can expand a little bit on the tribe that you're creating.
Yeah, sure. Well, just back to the studio for a second too, is we have a beautiful community here in the studio. Everybody that's here knows everybody else. We're big cheerleaders for each other. If someone hasn't seen a client in a couple of days, they'll say, hey, where were you? So that actually brings, a value to, like you said, to community and the importance of having that in your health and wellness life. The tribe that I have set up is on Facebook. You could, if you don't have Facebook, you could still sign up for the tribe. It's completely private. And it's Francesca Scerbo's Transformation Tribe. And the Transformation Tribe is, I post stuff in there that's, a lot of it's all of my stuff. This is what I do as a health coach, as a life coach, as a fitness professional. This is what I do. I put in some workouts that I have given out. I talk about some recipes we've done, mindset, a lot of sharing. So we did a Facebook Live last week, and we talked about the importance of de-stressing. And it's just a way to like put content out for the community to kind of be like, okay, this is a spot where, I'm getting good content from someone who's following these philosophies from a professional. And if people want to talk back, and give comments, they're more than welcome. I return everybody's comments. I encourage people to join the tribe and invite friends to join the tribe, especially during this time. You're getting, great, tidbits of advice that you could use, for the long haul. And I just think it's a great way to keep everybody kind of in one spot that really wants to work on just building themselves and their health. Out of the tribe, one of the tribe members reached out to me. We're actually going to be doing a group workout with all of his employees, because his employees were just all, depressed. They've been sitting, working from home. And he's like, let's go. Like, we're going to join this. We're going to have her do a little workout. We're going to build up our energy, and we're just going to have fun for an hour. So I'm doing that tomorrow afternoon. So
awesome.
But that's it. Like, building other people together. That's my mission. Is, like I said, I want to be able to motivate people to do things that they didn't think were possible, to inspire them. Like, yes, you can do this, and I will help you. And, and just live their best life, because we're issued one body per lifetime. And if we don't take care of it now, and we don't do the things that are necessary to allow us to go further and longer, then what's the point? Like, we that's why we're here. We want to be here for our kids. We want to be here for our parents. We want to be here for our friends, and we need to be present for ourselves. And, I think that this is not, exercise and health should not be a stressful and intimidating situation. And that's something that I kind of put into my little hug with everybody, is it's gotta be slow, because if you try to go in this alone and fast, it's a recipe for disaster. So that's why, right? I'm sorry?
Play the long game.
Yeah. That's why I don't put a lot of content out, like, I don't put more than one piece out a day, because for a lot, I want everyone to digest stuff. Like, all right, like, maybe I'll look on YouTube for a meditation DVD, and maybe I'll try, making your protein bites, and just try stuff. This is the time to just see what works, because what works for one obviously doesn't work for others. But taking a little bit of other people's successes and finding it within yourself is the name of the game.
Yeah, and just experiment. And like you said, have fun with the experimentation. Whether it's a new recipe, you try it, okay, you didn't like it, at least you made the attempt at it. But
right.
That's super encouraging. We'll be sure to include the show notes and the link in the show notes.
Yeah.
So, we're coming up on time. I'm grateful for the mission you uphold. I definitely personally align with it.
Thank you.
And what I like to do is close out with a couple personal questions. So,
sure.
One, what are you reading right now? And Audible is okay.
Oof. What am I reading right now? I just finished the E-Myth Revisited. I have 2 books on my shelf now that I haven't even started, but I just finished up that book, which was a recommendation from my life coach.
Coincidence?
Yes.
That's great. What are you listening to right now, music or podcasts?
Oh gosh, I'm all about the music. I am a cheesy 80s girl. Nice. So if it's 80s music, it rocks my soul. Everything 80s hair band, 80s love ballads, everything 80s. Anyone that comes to the studio, if the 80s music is on Siri, they know it's been me who was in here first.
Nice. Well, you'll appreciate this. I was cleaning out one of the many benefits of being quarantined.
Yeah.
And found a Bangles album on vinyl, nonetheless.
Oh God, I had vinyl. I had CDs and cassettes.
Yes, cassettes. Ooh, yes, yeah. Mixtapes. So for you, what's your go-to rest and recovery method?
So I am a beach girl living in the wrong state. My rest and recovery is to pretty much leave my norm. I have family in Florida, and that is my escape, is to get myself on a plane, grab a couple of really great books. There's 3 things. I said it's the 3 R's. It's rest, read, and run. Those are the 3 things I love to do the most when I'm away, because it just focuses a lot of, I get to focus some time on me. But when my happy place is definitely the beach and someplace warm with some palm trees. So when I'm in that zone like it's such an energy drive for me. And it's what motivates me then when I come back to just be like at my highest level.
You're
So
recharged.
I'm totally recharged. And it was, a side note was I was just there my parents live in Miami right now. So I was just there, and it was right before this whole COVID-19 shutdown. And it was great. I had the best time. The sun was out. I didn't get to sit at the beach a lot because the wind was a little crazy, but it didn't even matter. Just to have the ability to be outdoors every day in the sun. And then coming back to here, it's just like, it hurts my heart that I won't be able to be down there for Easter, because that was my initial plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can attest or agree with you on the beach, especially my wife. She's a total beach girl, Carolina girl.
Nope.
And well, again, Francesca, thanks for the time. I think it was a lot of great information to encourage anyone, no matter where they are in their fitness or wellness, walk, that there's a lot to take away, and I would encourage them to check out your site.
Yeah. And just to back it up, thank you for putting together, a podcast such as this. I think it's really important to kind of, bring people together more on different modalities of health and wellness, and not just, some other content of things that aren't easily achievable. I think this is like a great little format that there's so many natural, healthy remedies that we can do to stay healthy. And, for anybody that's listening, like I said, as the owner of Fitness One-to-One, I look forward to having anybody back in our studio once this whole thing kind of takes away. And hopefully by May, we're ready to go. And if anybody does need any type of health or life type coaching work, I am available on social media. Just send me a message, send me a ding. I'm here for you. And join our tribe and experience a lot of different stuff that maybe you didn't know, but we're all in it together. So.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to episode 8 with Francesca Scerbo. I trust you got a lot of value out of it. I enjoyed the conversation, and I trust you did it as well. Don't forget to check out her website at Fitness One-to-One Wellness. Also, I'd be really grateful if you would go and check out our website at the Rest and Recovery podcast.com. Also, after you listen to this episode, 5-star rating would be appreciated. Share with any friends that you know that could get something out of this episode. Thank you again for listening, and remember, be rested, be well.